All right. Greetings and peace, everyone. Welcome to the Committed Relationships and Spiritual Activity YouTube channel show. I am your host, Neo, and I'm here to share some info with the people. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. Now, as what I have been doing for the past year or so, I've been creating videos explaining the various psychological traps that has been going on throughout world societies. And these psychological traps are exactly that, psychological traps that keeps people their consciousness in a low human slavery consciousness, to where they're just walking around like drones and not able to perceive life as it really is, and also thinking that human life is the end all be all in life. And this is why a lot of people, when they hear certain higher consciousness information, they reject it because they're still in what I call the zombie mode. The zombie mode, you can go check my other video titled Zombie Mode. I think it's called Zombie Mode or something like that. And that one explains what's been going on for years and why people aren't at a higher consciousness as it's been prophesied that they're supposed to be at. And in particular, melanated people, black melanated people, it's been prophesied from years and years ago, from civilizations long time ago, that I think it's the Book of Enoch or one of those books, the sacred books, ancient scriptures, where it says that black people will be number one in the West. It'll be a new Egypt, which is here in America. That's why it's a lot of fucked up stuff here in America. And we will be coming into our own, and it will be in our higher consciousness. And it's supposed to be our cosmic consciousness. That's why I made that video, Cosmic Consciousness. So check that video out if you have not checked that out yet. And anyways, so I've been giving creating these videos and audios that explains the various traps that are out there in the world that keeps people on a low mundane level. And this is everybody. I mean, it's just those traps are available for everybody. It's not just a particular group. But it's just really for everybody. So everybody has gotten caught in this trap, in these different traps in one way or another, including me, and I'm going to go ahead and explain it. So for me, I have identified these various traps due to me doing my own personal development process, going through my own personal development process. And for me, I do very deep self-reflection, self-analysis, and self-development. I've been able to remove myself from my ego trap, and that's another trap that I'm going to go ahead and explain that. I've been able to get out of that, and which further removes my self-denial, so I can actually perceive higher consciousness information, and that goes with the different traps. So each trap that I've gotten out of, when I do my people watching, that's what I call it, my people watching, where I sit down and I just observe and examine people, whether it be in public, at like a Walmart, a mall, anywhere else, and especially when I examine my own family, because I have personal experiences with them. That's when I'm able to actually perceive even more these different traps, and I sit down and I analyze what they are and how they function. So now that I got that out of the way, this trap right here that I'm speaking about is the employment trap. And this is something that I have been observing for the past, I say maybe a few months, up to it's like 6-7 months. But for the past few months, I have actually been able to see even more what's been going on. And especially even the way that employees people who are trapped in the employment trap have been doing. And now let me explain what the employment trap is. So the employment trap is a psychological trap that an individual is in, as far as their consciousness is largely based on whatever job and or career that they are in, where they can't think of anything else but that career or job. We can go ahead and say, let's just give a wild example, and it's not speaking negative about anybody who's working at whatever job that I decide to talk about, but we're just gonna say McDonald's. This is a random guy. Let's say I'm gonna call him Johnny B, which I think there's a singer called Johnny B or John B, but I'm gonna call this example Johnny B. Okay, Johnny B has been working at McDonald's for many years now. No, let's just say he started working at McDonald's at the age of 16, right? So he's now he's 21, and by 21, usually a person, well, not usually, because I don't want to say that here in America, but it's a good time around 21 where a person has identified what career that they want to go in. But Johnny is still working at McDonald's. All right, and now from the age of 16 to 21, him still being 21, his mind has largely been on his job, right? And his weekly, he sits there and he calculates in his mind his hours that he works. He sits there and think about the different hours that he would like to work every single day. Well, if not every single day, weekly. He thinks about the girl that the different new females that came in and that just started working at McDonald's. He thinks about how fucked up the various managers that he didn't like, all of the arguments that they've been through. He thinks about that often. Let me see, what's some other things that people think about? And even when he's walking home, he's sitting there thinking about his job. He's thinking about his job, when he could be thinking about something totally different to where he wants his future to go, at least, if not higher consciousness, like higher cosmic consciousness, and thinking about different abilities that's beyond this mundane human existence, because there's way more higher existence beyond this human existence. However, you have these psychological traps that I've mentioned in my previous videos that keeps people on a low mundane human level. And I can see people, I can even tell, I can sense them, because I'm telling you, these psychic abilities, they real. That's why when I read people's energies, I can tell what type of person they are. And that's why I use that for myself, as far as when I'm looking at a woman that I'm considering talking to, but I have to read her energy to see if she's even worth my time. And I can tell when people just got off of work and they just sitting there thinking about work, about what just happened at work, as far as how they tired of their hours, they're ready to get out of their job, or they're sitting there thinking about new hours. Oh, I want to do this hour. I want to work this shift and that shift. And then they're thinking about new positions. And then there's some people that they so obsessed with getting a promotion, where that has been their focus for like years. More than anything, then every single day they're figuring out ways to make sure that they have their behavior right so that they can make a promotion. Versus there's so many higher consciousness things that they can be focusing on. And that is why I say this is a psychological trap. The psychological trap is the employment trap, where it keeps a person thinking and obsessed about their job, their employment, and it's whatever it is. It can be even a rapper. It could be a rapper. It can be a football player. It could be an actor. It could be a music artist, all the way down to something. Well, I don't even want to say I don't want to say no names as far as what titles, but even to a simple job. I'll just say a simple job. I just leave it at that. And then to the point where they can't think about anything else beyond that, and their primary focus is their job, as if their job is a part of them. And I gotta tell you, whenever a person thinks that their job is a part of them, that is their ego. The ego is attached to this physical realm. It's not real, just as this physical realm is not real. And that is a part of enlightenment. Once you realize that this is an illusion, then you'll be able to perceive all of these psychological traps that have been keeping people believing that this is real. And even with teachers, I see some teachers like reading their energy when I see them at the library, these 50 and 60-year-old teachers. Some of them are retired teachers, and some of them are actually current teachers, and I can tell that they've been doing it for so many years as far as a teacher that they get trapped inside that teaching mode where it's a thought process that they probably would not be able to get out of at all. And even when they retire, they probably still think about teaching. And that's how it is with the mind. Once you lock yourself into a certain thought process, unless you know how to control your own mind and get out of it, then you're more than likely going to get stuck in it. And it's the same thing, like even when you so-called make the transition, and you transition outside of this physical realm, when you aka die, you still keep those thought processes thinking that you're a human. And that's why some people, when they get into their astral body and make the transition, they don't believe that they can go through a wall or a door, because they're still thinking that they're human, and they still think that they have a physical body. So that is another psychological trap. That's why people have to get out of these psychological traps right now, so that they can raise their consciousness and be able to perceive that they can do a lot of other stuff that these movies and TV shows talk about when they talk about superpowers. And like, I'm going back and studying the TV show Heroes, and I'll go ahead and talk about that another day. Because I got some things that I'm considering doing, some new projects. But anyways, let's just stay focused on this employment trap. So that is another psychological trap that has been going on for many, many years. Definitely keeping people obsessed with their job, regardless what it is. And I can understand, yes, a person can truly enjoy their job, and that's good. However, as long as they know that that job is not them and it's not the end all be all, and they don't allow themselves to be psychologically trapped inside their job to where they can't perceive anything else beyond their job. That is the purpose of this recording. That's what I'm talking about right there. Is those individuals that's caught up in it need to wake up and realize that their job is not the end all be all. And once they get off of their job, try to find a way to leave it alone and stop worrying about it, so that way they can focus on the rest of their life and also think about their future, so that they can set up situations so that they can move forward with their life. And especially in particular, so that they can start focusing on higher consciousness stuff. Because as long as a person stays in these psychological traps, they will not be able to get beyond human thinking, and then they'll keep thinking like a human, and then that's when they're more than likely going to consistently get fucked in the ass, so to speak. And if you don't like that term, then use whatever term you want to use regarding hardships. And if you keep thinking like a human and having those thought processes, and you don't have any other higher consciousness thought processes, then that's when the so-called world, I call them world influencers, societal influencers, because they're not as powerful as they make people believe. That's why the more you focus on learning your mind and how it works, and the more strength you increase its strength, and you know how to utilize it, the less influence that this society, this really, really fucked up society, has over you. That's why for me, I can go to a variety of places and do a variety of things that the average person, they'll get fucked up and mind controlled. But for me, that stuff, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So when you increase your consciousness and you raise spiritually, your frequency raises, and then everything that's below that frequency, it does not affect you. It has little to no effect on you. That's why for me, I tell people about the watching TV and how it's terrible for the untrained, undeveloped mind. However, but when a person develops their mind to a high level, then they can watch TV, because they know how to block those subliminals and control their own mind. So it's like, for me, every so often I do watch TV when I'm at somebody else's house, but on average I avoid watching TV. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that marinate, let you think about how that goes as far as the psychological employment trap. I've been there before, I got out of it. Now I'm self-employed, and even being self-employed, I'm still being conscious of keeping my mind balanced and stable, so that I can focus on this higher consciousness information and be able to perceive what's going on in society, so that I can avoid these various traps and continue to get myself out of any other traps that I might currently be in from that's been keeping me on a human level. That's why I like being by myself, so that I can consistently monitor my own mind and my behavior, because that's what personal development is. All right, so if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, you can put them in the comment section. And also, for anything that's relationship material, you can send it to neooneness@gmail.com. That will be in the description, as all of my other links will be in the description. Like, comment, and subscribe. When you hit the subscribe button, make sure that you hit the bell button, so that you can get email updates for them. Whenever I upload anything new here on my YouTube channel. All right. Thank you very much. And until next time.